play. For people I haven't met before, my name's Elaine. The company is Simteractive. And as they're being really, really strict on time, I'm just going to take a shortcut to introduce myself, which is just to show what my favourite games are. So as you can see, there's a slight theme running through. It's all sim games, theme games, tycoon games. So these are the kind of games that I love to play, and it's the reason that I got into the industry to work on these kinds of games. So obviously, my first job was at Traveller's Tales, where they make the extremely non-sim game games like Star Wars. Immensely successful series that I didn't work on. Instead, I worked on this game, Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian. I think I've met maybe one person who played it and worked on it. So it wasn't the most successful game, but it was a really good experience. I was a coder there doing C++ coding, and they kind of threw in the deep end there, so it was kind of a year and 3 months, but a lot of overtime, so probably about 2 years experience there. So then I moved into game design. I worked at Lionhead on a game called Milo and Kate, Sweet and knows, a game that ended up being sort of a poster child for Connect, but then after working on it for 2.5 years, it got cancelled. Again, good learning experience, but that's life. So I did work on some other games. I did some work on Fable III, and I also worked on the Connect game, Fable Journey. So last year, I moved back to Ireland to basically set up a company making sim games, which became Simteractive. So it's going well so far. I took part in the New Frontiers program. I took part in IGAP, got some funding from Enterprise Ireland, the Competitive Start Fund. And basically what I want to do is the classic sim games of the past, games like Theme Hospital, Theme Park, and SimCity that I love, I want to take inspiration from them and make sort of the new generation of sim games, which are the casual, free-to-play games on smartphones and tablets. So as we all know, Farmville, not that great really, so there's, I think there's good potential there. So you've all paid, most of you paid, what, €6.05 with about 19 speakers? So I have to give you all like 32 cents worth of value. So what we'll do is just to take sort of 5 lessons that I've learned that I'm applying to the development of my game with Simteractive, and hopefully there's at least one thing there that's useful. So the game hasn't been announced officially, but just to give you some context, the working title is Dream Resort. It's about creating your ideal holiday resort. So the first thing is that all of the 5 lessons are all about embracing change. So basically, sometimes to make the game better, it has to change, and it's about trying to embrace change and make that as painless as possible. So I'm trying to do that with Simteractive. Like, this is one of the number of game concepts I worked on before Dream Resort that basically I did some design work on it, and I realised it wasn't going to work. It just wouldn't be fun enough, so I completely scrapped it. So the first thing is, in terms of structuring your game, like your code and your data, structure it so that it's easy to make changes, make it flexible, expose variables, have it as data-driven as possible. Like, I've got a spreadsheet with like all my data. These are all my events in the game. Once the event system is set up, it's really easy to add extra events. Same here with the task system. You just add an extra line for an extra task. It's really easy to make changes. Second thing, which is a different approach to some of the other companies here. Maybe because I'm slightly biased as my background's in game design and coding, but I'm very much taking the approach of working out the gameplay first. I want to get the game design really good before I get art, animation, those nice things. So this is why, if anyone's wondering why they never see my game publicly, this is why, because it looks like this, and for good reason. Like say there's no point in me, say, paying a GUI artist to make the GUI look all really nice when I'm still working out the game design, still working out what information is going to be in there. Same for people, you see they're in their T-poses. I mean, there's no point getting animations at this point while I'm still working out the game. So the next thing is about design documentation. We spend so much time working on design documents. But with Dream Resort, what I wanted to do was just keep the design documentation really light at the start and just get into actually making a game. Because it's not a game design if it's in a document, it's only a game design when it's in an actual game. So this is like the initial design doc. It was just 6.5 pages, concept doc. And even some of the sort of what I thought would be some of the core loops in the game, as soon as I implemented them, I realised it wasn't going to work. So I was glad I didn't spend 3 months writing a big design document. Fourth thing is aim for a quick iteration, to make it really easy to test things. You don't want to have long compile times. You don't want to have to play through for an hour to get to something in the game you want to test. Make it easy for yourself. Like, this is what I have in the game to set up different variables. like say if I want to test the rubbish system, you just change it so that you create lots of rubbish, so you don't have to play for an hour to get that amount. Fifth thing, possibly the most important thing, is make it easy to throw stuff away. So in particular with artwork, if you see it time and time again when people, they kind of know in their heart that something needs to change in the game, but because you might have this beautiful piece of art, people are really reluctant to throw it away even though it's actually for the good of the game. So this is a screenshot from the most recent build. As you can see, all the buildings there, they're not pretty. I was even, Savvy Bear said that programmer art, it looks way better than that. So this is programmer art, they're literally boxes, but for the moment it works absolutely perfectly, and if I want to change the buildings, I can. So yeah, just to say, at the moment I'm just doing development myself. I did get a bit of funding from Enterprise Ireland. I will need people to do work. I will be taking on interns. If you're interested in this kind of game, if you've got skills, if you're interested in working with me, come talk to me. Send me an email, even if you want to just play test the game. Come say hi or follow me on Twitter to keep in touch with things. Even if you don't get a chance at this event, come up and say hi at another event. And that's it. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.